Hi everyone, I'm Baptiste, author of the Three Kingdoms Chronicles, and this is video 7 of the Justice for Liao Hua campaign. My vow to make videos until Koei Tecmo agrees to meet with me to discuss the inclusion of Liao Hua in the next Dynasty Warriors game. In this video, I think it is time for me to tell you more about my personal relationship with Liao Hua, and I think that came out a bit wrong. But I do have some kind of relation with Liao Hua, and it all started nearly 22 years ago. I'm taking you back to 2004, at a time when many of you were not even born, and I was in high school, and my best friend and I had bought a PS2 together because we were too poor to buy one each. We were about to receive some friends from England, some pen friends you would say, and we were looking for a game that all of us could play together. We found about this little title called Dynasty Warriors 4 and unknowingly bought it, started playing with it, and absolutely loved it! This thing was amazing! Like, I fell in love with Dynasty Warriors right away. So Dynasty Warriors 4, then I went back and bought 2, even found Dynasty Warrior 1 copy, which is extremely rare. Now, when I play this game, I first play, back then that was by faction, and my first round was with the Wei faction. I played Shu Han after that, and in one of the last battles, which I believe was Wuzhong back then, there is a cutscene where Zheng He, if I remember correctly, Zheng He kills Liao Hua. Then later on you finish the game and you have those information about many characters, about their lives and so on, and the very first character that popped up was Liao Hua, and it says like he saw the beginning and the end of Shu Han. And I was like, yeah, well, I just saw him die, so obviously that's not true. Right? One of those two informations is not correct. So, that wasn't the only reason why, but I finished this game, ran straight away to the local bookstore. Remember 2004-5 maybe? Amazon hadn't kicked in completely in France back then, so I went to the bookstore, ordered a copy of The Romance of the Three Kingdoms. They didn't have one. I ended up buying some kind of a comic book version of the Three Kingdoms, which was still awesome. A couple of years later I bought the actual Romance of the Three Kingdoms, searched as much as I could about Liao Hua because his name got stuck in my brain. Seriously, it was such a beautiful sounding name, Liao Hua. Sounds really cool. Anyway, I searched through the Romance of the Three Kingdoms, his name popped up here and there, that was pretty cool, and I decided this guy is awesome, but we don't hear enough about him. But at this point, you know, that was it. Then a few years later, I moved to China. I lived in China, and I was already a big fan of the Three Kingdoms. By then, I had watched all the TV shows, movies, and so on. I had started learning Chinese as well, and I decided randomly to buy a pack of Sangguosha cards. For those who don't know Sangguosha, it's like a strategy card game, a bit like Magic the Gathering, but specifically about Three Kingdoms characters. And I kid you not, the very first card that came out of the package was this one, Liao Hua. So the very first card of Sangguosha that came out of this package was Liao Hua. I think that was in 2012, 2013, if I remember correctly. This thing has been in my wallet ever since. And that's when I took the decision that one day I would write a story about him. I wasn't even a writer at that point, but I basically decided to start writing the same day I decided to write a series of books from Liao Hua's point of view. Now, guess what? Let me hang this one a bit. Now, guess what? That was 13 years ago. And yeah, about 4 years ago, I decided, you know what, it is time to be a writer. And I began my writing journey with Yellow Sky Revolt, book 1 of the Three Kingdoms Chronicles series. And since then, in the last 3 years and a half, I basically published 5 books, including 2 novellas, from the point of view of Liao Hua. Each book takes me about, I have no idea, probably 500 hours to write, which means I spent between 2,000 and 2,500 hours in Liao Hua's shoes, because this is a first-person point of view story. In other words, I have spent anywhere from 1 to 200 days non-stop in Liao Hua's company. I am not kidding when I say this guy is almost like a friend, and I want the best for him, and I want him to be recognized as much as he deserves to be, which is a lot, right? Now, in Yellow Sky Revolt, in the author notes of Yellow Sky Revolt, I actually mentioned that my secret desire with this series was to make him so popular that Koei Tecmo would have no choice but to include him in their games. I am not popular enough. This series is not popular enough yet, so I really need your help here, either to make those books popular enough or to make those videos I'm making in the Justice for Liao Hua campaign popular enough that Koei Tecmo has no other choice but listen to us who want Liao Hua in their games, because we love their games, we love the Three Kingdoms, and this guy really should be there. Now, what's amazing about this series is that Liao Hua has this kind of semi-legendary status, because the reality and the legend about Liao Hua, as described in the Romance of the Three Kingdoms, is not exactly the same. So I had my fun with Liao Hua. Those 5 books that I showed you earlier are the first arc of a series that should be around 12 books long. And this is what I call the Cao Cao arc, because in this first arc, surprisingly enough, for people who actually know the Three Kingdoms, Liao Hua is under Cao Cao. Well, at first he's a student under Cao Cao. He starts in the Yellow Turbans, quickly joins Cao Cao's side, and his main point, his only goal in life at the beginning, is to one day kill Guan Yu to avenge his uncle from the Yellow Turban Rebellion that was slain by Guan Yu. So yeah, if you know the story, you're like, what the hell are you talking about? But I promise it makes sense when you read the books. There you go. Liao Hua is like a good buddy that I have been hanging around for the last 4 years, almost non-stop. He's always somewhere there, and I want him to be recognized and to gain the fame that he deserves. And I need your help. So please, keep sharing my videos, keep commenting them. Go check my books if you want to. They are on Amazon, ebook and paperback, all of them. I am actually writing right now book number 6. So I'm almost halfway through this series. I need this thing to become bigger, and I need your help. Let's make sure Koei Tecmo hears us. Liao Hua deserves to be in their game.